I thought they were hourly.
Well, we don't
Okay.
have overtime in my office, I'll put
Okay.
it that way. I don't think anybody in the courthouse works overtime. I mean, if my girls in October, if they have to work late a couple of nights, they'll get a few hours comp time. We note it, they take a few hours off early.
Yeah.
They don't even get time and a half for that, none of them ask for it. Most of them don't even leave at their lunch hour.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Sometimes they don't take lunch.
I didn't understand, that's okay. I didn't understand the employees being salaried, I guess. I thought they were always salaried. I thought they're paid to sit there hourly, but I could be wrong. I guess I'm wrong.
Like the road department. If I'm gonna hire a truck driver, I have a base salary of a Class B truck driver. And don't quote me on the exact amount, but I think it's just say it's $20,800 is their base salary. If he's a Class A, then he gets another 50 cents an hour, or it's figured on base salaries would be $21,400. And don't quote me on them because I'm not 100% sure those are the right numbers. We'd have to get the ordinance books out. So everybody's hired in as a salaried position. But I'll give you an example of the road department. Okay? Sunday evening, we may have bad weather, Sunday morning, you know. Well, or Saturday evening, well, I may have to call out the sand crew. You know, we're in the federal disasters and we're hauling sand or gravel or trying to fix roads. And they start having to work more than 40 hours per week. Then the federal law says it's overtime. So then you take your base salary of, say, $20,800 and you work it, how many, and I think it's 2,044, but I'm not 100% sure. Divide that out, well, they're making $10.70 an hour, actually. So that's how you figure how much overtime they would get on that hourly. But by ordinance, they're salary, everybody's salary. We'd be glad to show you that. If you come down and show you the ordinances for salary compensation book, and that's what it is. Okay? Well, and did I get them, did we cover them all? Chairlift. There's no added cost to the county, as far as that is. I was hoping that it was actually the part, the letter or the email we received was supposed to be shipped from Canada, the piece that didn't line up. Supposed to have been here, I think, last week. And of course, they're out of Benton, the company that received that bid. And, you know, just as soon as I get up here, I don't think it'll take, another day, and we'll be operational. I was hoping it'd be done, but we're at the mercy of the company that's putting it in, and the company's coming out of Canada. The part's coming out of Canada.
At their cost.
Do I?
At their cost.
At their cost. Sure, yeah, we don't know, see, we bid all that out, and that's at a set bid. Yeah.
It's not like the military, which costs plus.
Yeah.
No, there's no cost plus. All right, anything else? I need to ask several things. Okay, anybody else?
I just have a question, and you have it on your agenda apparently.
Cindy Park.
Oh, sorry, Cindy Park.
Okay.
You said you have it on your agenda about the water testing. I
Yes.
finally did get an email from Brad
Okay.
late this afternoon, but he did make the statement, I believe there is some confusion about my job. So you
Okay.
might want to make sure that's addressed.
Okay, I'll be glad to talk about that.
All right, and then the second thing is maybe Debbie Wise can get up and explain why all the jurors were dismissed from this last pool that got pulled.
Why were all the jurors dismissed? Because we don't have any trials.
Oh, so it has nothing to do with their names in the paper?
No,
Boy,
we
that's-
don't have any trials.
It's not what the prosecuting attorney said, but
You
okay.
called the prosecuting attorney about the jury list being put in the paper,
Yes, I did,
Which
because that
has-
is illegal.
which has been a practice in this county for over 50 years, and other circuit clerks do that throughout the state. That is being looked at. It's a way to notify the jurors. And we're not gonna put that in the paper again until we get that cleared up. The administrative office of the courts has been called about it.
Yep,
The
that's what I talked
Association of
to.
Arkansas Counties has been called about it. We're all looking at it. But the reason that we're not having any courts because there's not any trials.
Okay, Henry Boyce told me the other day on the phone, I will call the judge back and let you know, which he did. And he said the judge does agree with me and the administrative courts, and that all the jurors will be dismissed for the reason of them being printed in the paper. That's been a law since 2007.
I think it was 97, but you may be correct, I'm not sure.
I'm just
I'm
embarrassed
not
that it's
sure.
been happening all these years. I really am.
Well, I've been the clerk for 25 years, and the clerk before me did it for 14 years, and several of the circuit clerks in the state of Arkansas do that also. The administrative office of the courts hit the director. He was not aware that there was a problem, so they're looking at it.
So this
So
will be
apparently
mentioned,
it's something
this will
in
be
there that we
mentioned in
can-
the paper as well?
If
That
I-
the
if
reason
you
it's
want.
not going to be in there anymore is blah, blah, blah?
I guess that's up to the paper.
Well, I just think it'd be good to notify people. If there's people that's only getting their information out of the newspaper, I think it'd be a good idea to let them know.
That's up to the paper, ma'am.
Okay.
And YouTube.
Anything else?
And YouTube.
I'm sorry. Anybody else? Going once?
I'm being
Twice?
good.
Okay. Madam Clerk, would you call roll, please?
Justice Dust,
Present.
Justice Furman,
Present.
Justice Harper,
Here.
Justice Johnson,
Here.
Justice Lambert,
Here.
Justice Morris,
Here.
Justice Sharp,
Here.
Justice Ward,
Here.
Justice Wells.
Here.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Y'all will all be seeing a copy of the minutes from January the 14th. Is there any changes need to be made in those minutes? If not,
There's no changes or comments. I move to adopt the minutes from the January 14, 2016 meeting.
there's a motion by Justice Furman to adopt the January 14th minutes. Do I have a second anywhere?
I second it.
Justice Sharp?
Yes.
Sharp, okay. Seconded that. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. Okay. Treasurer, would you give the treasurer's report, please?
Randolph County's books are balanced and reconciled through January 31st, 2016. Total funds to be accounted for at the end of January are $4,071,246.41. That figure is reflected on your bank's reconciliation sheet and on your general ledger balances report. I will note on your second page, though, on the reconciliation on the bottom, there was one receipt that wasn't receipted the last working day of January, so I plugged that in there to show that it does balance. Back to your first sheet. Your 2016 budget at the end of January has a remaining balance at 95.06% for all office budgets combined. The normal at this time is at 91.67. County General is at 93.13. Road, 93.54. County Library, 93.39. Solid Waste, 95.44. Law Enforcement Center, 93.83. And the E911 fund is at 93.01%. Your total projected revenue for 2016 at the end of January is $10,727,212.86. That's found on your budget summary recap. And your total appropriation, $9,157,226.04. And I did give you a copy of the 2015 chargebacks as of end of January. You'll see what was projected, what the actual carryover was, the difference. There's a column for the chargebacks, and your last column is either extra revenue or less expenditures, give or take. All of those are good. There is 3 negatives. The property reappraisal, I explained, I think last month, that the state did not send a check in the month of December. So I had voided out a check, and we redid it in January, so it shows as a chargeback. We actually did it as a chargeback. Public defense, I believe that was revenue. I was short about $700 on revenue. The PICO, you remember we got the money in January, or at the end of December, and we did a chargeback in January. And then Law Library shows on here, we always do the claims through the Low Library's claims through our offices, although it's not appropriated, I put it on there just because, it is in our budget.
If there's no question or comments about the treasurer's report, I move to adopt.
A quick question, how's the tax receipts coming so far this year, Sheriff?
I think I missed it in January by a couple $100. It's really good.
Thank you. That's all right.
Now, that would be November, sales tax, November. That would be November, yeah, November, we're a couple, 3 months behind. Any other questions? If not, I have a motion by Justice Furman to adopt the treasurer's monthly report. Do I have a second?
Nothing.
Justice Harper seconded that. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. Okay. Thank you, Madam Treasurer. Okay. Comments from the public, from the public officials. Any comments? Any comments? Mayor, you want to comment on what, you brought in, or you want to wait, or what? Okay, great. Okay.
We talked about overtime in the past, and I just wanna, I give you all a list of what we spend on overtime. And I know that Rhonda's office assists with that, and he turns in reports to Quorum, but I'd just like to make the Quorum Court aware that we take care of a lot of our comp time in-house, where our county clerk's office don't necessarily have that information as far as when we're scheduling our employees off. Sometimes you might see higher numbers when in fact, with the comp time that we appropriate, we're gonna reduce those number of hours down. And I'm just giving you an exemplar of where we're gonna be in this time frame here and what I submitted to you. This is more an actual record of where they stand. Some of the higher numbers may be investigators that are called up working investigations. Some of the other numbers you see here, higher numbers, we've had to guard some inmates, broke at Jonesboro, we've had to do shift relays, and we've had to cover some security of inmates in a Little Rock as well. But that's why some of our numbers have jumped up on some of them, but we're in good shape. And I don't know what numbers y'all get, I don't see it, but I just want to know we're in control of our overtime. I give y'all another sheet too, Debbie last week submitted to circuit court. But it's a run sheet of what we collected for Sheriff's Department, and the other total, right in columns, it's a longer legal sheet. But this is what we collected over the last several years on the circuit court time. When I started back in 2007 sheriff, we were in excess of $500,000 before we was at that time. And you'll see several sheets here stapled together, but if you look on the very last page, it'll give you a total where we are now in the Sheriff's Department. We went in excess of $500,000 when I started sheriff. We've been doing show cause orders, we've been doing tax intercept, but right now where we are is at $207,000. So we cut about 2/3 of what we've done. I point that up before.
Gary, I'm not clear, you're saying the 207,000 is what we collected, not what?
That's where we currently are.
It's not a list of what is owed.
This is what's owed.
What's owed, yeah.
Okay.
I wasn't in a list of those that owe that money.
Yeah, okay.
That's where we are currently. But
When a lot of these people go to jail, or, prison or whatever, do they still have to pay these fines?
it's on the way, and by law, we can go up to 10 years on collection of these fines. So even though they might go to prison when they're released, we're gonna go after them again to try to collect this money. And we can do that lawfully up to 10 years. But, anyway, I just think we've done a really good job. We reduced it by almost 2/3 of the time. But I just kinda wanna give you all an idea of where we're at and what we've done over several years' time. But hopefully we'll have that caught up, or I won't have anything, but I just might remind you too that I've got everything 2008 and prior, I've got old money to play. And I have to go out first to find these people, serve the show causes, where Debbie's office has got it 2009 January, the current. far as my collection, we was over 500,000, we're down to 200,000 roughly.
Any questions for the sheriff?
Yeah, I've got a question. On the juvenile probation officer in Sharp County, do they drive a county-owned vehicle?
I can't speak for Sharp, but I would assume so because it's in the same.
We pay gas for one of them up there. Do we not, I mean, are they driving a county vehicle, or should we not be paying mileage?
Your fine money on juvenile is collected, both proceeding in the county, and it goes into a juvenile fund. From that is what they buy their vehicles and their expenditures from, the fine money. And state judicial district, Ford County, Judge King generally handles the juvenile court. But you've got your juvenile officers in different counties.
Yeah.
But that's
I mean, we're paying the gas bill for the one in Sharp County.
Our money goes into our budget for juvenile. You can ask Sherry more about that if you like. The collection of money for juvenile, city, county, goes into the juvenile fund, is that correct, Sherry?
Yeah, but there's also, I believe Sharp County did get another juvenile probation officer last year or so, and they bill 4 different counties, and we pay our portion of that. But same thing with our juvenile probation out of county general, I bill the other 3 counties to get their portion for our